Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ComhraCast episode 4. I'm here. I'm your host, Cock here with...
I'm Aaron.
He's Aaron. So, Aaron, what are we talking about today?
Well, we've got an episode for you this week.
We have an episode. Well, that's a surprise. That's a surprise straight off the bat. Is the fact that we have an episode this week.
We took it. Well, see, I was talking to Ryan about this before I delve into what we're talking about this week, because he was like, "Oh, you've uploaded like 3 videos in the space of 2 months," and I was like, "Yeah, we took a break for Christmas." He was like,
"Yeah,
after 2 episodes, yeah."
But hey, everyone needs a Christmas break. You start a job a month before Christmas. They're not going to stop you from having your Christmas break.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
So this week we're going to be reviewing the first half of season 1 of Wandavision.
Yep.
As well as Ethan wants to talk about the Kong thingy trailer.
Godzilla v Kong or Kong v Godzilla. I can't remember what the actual title is.
And I watched the trailer like 5 minutes before this.
I've watched the trailer every 5 minutes since it's came out. It's honestly, I've actually probably watched it every day since the trailers came out. I think it's here's a review of the trailer itself. I think it's one of the best movie trailers I've seen in a long time. It doesn't give you too much, but it's just like, holy shit, I want to see that film now.
I don't feel the same way. Well, I don't know how I feel. I've only watched it once.
Like
I don't think I actually finished it.
I've only seen the first Godzilla movie from 2014. I've seen half of Kong Skull Island because I was watching it on a plane, but then I had to get off the plane because it had landed. And then I didn't watch King of the Monsters, but I watched that trailer and I was like, holy shit, that looks like the best movie I'll watch ever.
Yeah, okay. I've seen that first new Godzilla that came out in whatever you said, 2014.
Yeah.
And I went to go see Kong Skull Island, so I've seen 2 of them.
Yeah. Kong Skull Island was quite good. I did enjoy that movie.
Yeah, it was fun, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I've seen it once.
But like there's like weird things in that movie where it's like, oh, we're gonna go to this island full of monsters, so we need to get like a guy who's good. So they get Tom Hiddleston, who's just able to beat up guys in a bar. Like, for no reason should he be able to fight monsters. It's like, they see him beat up a lot of guys in a bar and they're like, that's the guy we need to go fight monsters. Like, what?
And isn't Samuel L. Jackson's in that film too, isn't he?
Yeah, there's so many. John C. Reilly, John Goodman's in that movie. Brie Larson's in that movie.
I don't like Brie Larson.
One of the guys who's in Straight Outta Compton, the guy who plays Eazy-E, he's in it.
Oh, okay.
And then Ice Cube's son, I'm pretty sure, is in King of the Monsters, the second Godzilla movie. I don't know, but anyways.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen the trailer now, and I only recognize like one person from it, which is that girl from Stranger Things. Even though I didn't watch the last film, but I just know that she's in both of them.
Okay, I'll give you a breakdown of who the cast guys are. You know the guy who seems like he's going to be the main character, and he was wearing like a vest, like one of the buff puffer vests, and he was wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
That's Alexander Skarsgård, or no, is that Alexander Skarsgård? His surname is Skarsgård. Anyways, he's the son of the guy, Eric from the Thor movies, the old scientist dude.
Yeah.
It's that actor's son.
Oh, okay.
And he's also brothers with the guy who plays Pennywise in the It movies, the recent ones.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it the same guy? Because I recognise the surname. Yeah,
and he also, like, that guy played Tarzan recently and got absolutely shredded. Well, not recently, I think it was like 2015. And who else is in that movie? From Iron Man 3, the girl that, like, Iron Man knew from, like, the 1990s, and then it turns out she was kind of the bad guy.
Yeah, the news reporter person.
No, she wasn't a news reporter. She was the woman who came up with the extremist formula, and then she got killed by Guy Pearce.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
She's in it.
Sure.
Who else?
Okay.
I'm going to keep going. Deadpool 2, the kid with the fire powers?
Kid with the fire powers?
Kid with the fire powers.
Oh, your man, the New Zealand guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in it. You see him in a shot with Eleven from Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, that's her name. The guy who voiced Brian T. Henry, who was going to be in the Eternals movie, and he also voiced Miles Morales' dad in Into the Spider-Verse. He is there.
Oh,
He's the
okay.
guy who's talking to Millie Bobby Brown in that scene. You see him.
Oh, okay.
There's one or two more I'm missing. Shit. No, maybe that's everybody. And then there's just some returning characters from Godzilla King of the Monsters, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't think I don't think I'm gonna go see that film when it comes out.
I don't.
Personally, unless you make me go with you.
I don't think it's going to come out. I think it's going to come out in cinemas, but I don't think cinemas in Ireland will be open.
Oh, okay.
But
It'll
I
go
think
out onto, like,
it'll be on streaming and stuff, so
iTunes.
I'll just pay for it on iTunes. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's a bit of a segue. Tell you what movie I bought on iTunes last night, and it's still as
What?
great as the first 72 times I watched it. Sing Street.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I watched it again last night. Cried at the end. It was so fucking good. That movie's so good. All right, let's stop. I'm going to stop the
That is
segue.
a great movie.
Another last question about King Kong versus Godzilla. Who is going to win?
I reckon. Well, in the trailer, the little bit that I saw, it looks like King Kong's currently winning.
Yeah, King Kong, I think, is going to beat the Lord living fuck out of that big stupid lizard.
Because he's like, he can move. He's like agile,
Yeah.
whereas Godzilla can kind of just walk straight and.
He's agile, and he's got an axe that is made out of one of Godzilla's scales.
He himself. Oh right, yeah, okay. I
That
get you
axe that he was carrying is made out of one of Godzilla's like spikes that he has on his back,
now. Oh okay.
and that's pretty
I
epic.
didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's sick as fuck. I sent you a meme before this of the monkey backflip.
Yeah, off the ship.
Yeah, that was a funny meme. But yeah, there's people are giving out thinking it's going to be one of those movies like Batman versus Superman and all, where it's like, oh, they fight for like a bit and then it turns out there's a bigger villain that they have to fight, and there is going to be that. There's rumors that there's going to be a giant robot Godzilla they have to fight at the end, which looks like is actually true. But
Oh, that team up type thing.
yeah, but the director did come out and say there will be a definitive winner of who wins versus Jeez, I'm mixing up their names. Godzilla and King Kong is going to have a definite winner,
Oh okay.
and I think it's going to be King Kong.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, Aaron. That's enough of our Godzilla King Kong talk, because it's not meant to be the main focus of this episode.
So, I don't know how we're going to do this because we didn't discuss
No.
how we're going to do this.
Didn't discuss it all. As
Do
we
you
said,
wanna just
we don't talk to each other between episodes of the podcast. We talk on the podcast and the podcast only.
Do you want to just give I don't think we should do episode by episode kind of breakdowns. I think
Okay.
because that might be boring for those who haven't seen episodes or
Yeah, that makes sense.
that kind of stuff. Also, it goes without saying, spoilers ahead for
Yeah.
the 10 people who listen to this.
Yeah. We're just gonna go full spoilers. There's no point holding off. Every episode is up on Disney Plus. Well, not every episode. The first 4 we're about to talk about are all up on Disney Plus. Go watch them. Come back, listen, or don't come back and listen. We don't care.
Well, yeah.
Well, we do care.
Or listen now.
We do care, but we're not the boss of you.
You can listen this far and be like, oh, I haven't seen it, and then never come back
Yeah.
to any other episode ever again.
Right, yeah. So let's give. What's your initial thoughts, Aaron, on the season so far?
It's weird. I mean, I think I do like it, but
Mhm.
I think in the first episode, so 10 minutes into the first episode, you're kind of like, am I going to like this?
Yeah,
Because it's just so out there and
yeah. It's very different.
It's so weird. Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like I had a point there, but it doesn't actually make sense because whenever so she's cleaning her kitchen and all, and she's using her magic powers, and she's like, oh, look, I'm Scarlet Witch. I don't think does she know that she's Scarlet Witch and she can do this, or is it she subconsciously?
No, the whole point is both Wanda and Vision are well aware that they are still superheroes. They're well aware that Endgame happened. They're well aware that, just except for certain bits, as in Vision dying, they're well aware everything has happened. They're well aware that they were once Avengers and stuff, but now they're done.
Yeah.
And they're acting like they're not retired, but they're acting like they're finished and they've gotten away and they've just moved away to their little town.
Okay. Because as time goes on, obviously, there's reference to Thanos, and she's like, how do you know who Thanos is?
Or not
And
Thanos, Ultron.
She's... Oh, sorry, yeah, Ultron even. and then she starts to actually like see Vision.
Yeah, that
once
fucking
his skull's been ripped apart.
me and Alice watched that together, and I was sitting there the whole time. Whenever he was like standing a bit behind her, before we zoomed in on his face, I was like, "Is he grey?" And Alice was like, "No, he's just far away." And I was like, "No, he's definitely grey. I'm pretty sure he's grey back there." And Alice was like, "No, he's just far away. Why would he be grey anyways?" And Alice didn't remember the part from Endgame or Infinity War where he was grey. And I was like, no, that guy's definitely grey right now. And then it very suddenly just zoomed in and Alice shit herself. She literally jumped on the couch and was like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, no. I think it... my original point's got nothing to do with the same one. It's I think it's good. I think it just takes a bit of getting into.
Yeah, it definitely takes a bit to get used to, because like you're watching it and you're trying to think, oh, okay, is this going to be the first 20 minutes of each episode, and then it's going to zoom back to the people in the real world, which it zooms back to the people in the real world like for the whole of episode 4, which I thought was very good.
And it links to previous episodes.
Yeah, like episode 4 basically takes place from all the way from the beginning of episode 1 up until the end of episode 3 concurrently, like well, and a bit beforehand too, because like episode 4 opens at the friggin' beginning of at the end of the end of Endgame.
Does it? I can't remember.
Remember, Monica is sitting in her chair and suddenly she reforms after the snap, and then she finds out her mum is dead, which I did not think they were going to do in like one of the TV shows, was kill off like a main character as well.
Yeah,
but it was very well done.
No, yes, I think it's like, it's a Marvel TV show, but like it's a proper Marvel TV show. So like, it's obviously gonna it's gonna be good.
Like I don't think it's any like the best Marvel TV show. I do still think is like the first season of Daredevil. Like that show was just amazing. But WandaVision is very much like while episode 4 was very much like MCU regular shenanigans, there wasn't really any action, but there was still just like it was that tone. But episodes 1 to 3 were just very different and cool, and there's so many little things in them. Like episode I don't know if all 3 were, but episode 1 and a little bit of episode 2 were actually filmed in front of a live studio audience. Like the laugh track is real.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I didn't realize either until I saw a TikTok about it, where like they like pulled back on the whole set and showed that there was like a full studio audience, and it looked sick as fuck.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the set design, the way they've the costumes, all amazing. And then there's some funny little details. Like I saw it I figured this out on TikTok. But when I get a lot of my information from TikTok these days. You know when Monica gets launched back into the real world by Wanda?
Yeah.
You know the way she like goes flying through a bunch of walls?
Yeah.
She goes...
And then she goes out the fence.
She goes flying through 3 walls and then the wall of the town. So she broke the 4th wall. You know what I mean? She went out through the first second.
I get
and that was like one of the little tiny details. I was like, holy shit. They made her go through the 4th wall back into the real world.
That is
it was a good little inclusion. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I never paid attention to any of that. I was like, oh, she's broke through the walls.
But I didn't pay attention to it either, and then I just saw it on TikTok. This guy was like, look at this little quirky detail, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And then he was like, yeah, she breaks through 4 walls altogether, and I was like, that's epic.
Yeah, no, that is cool.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say my favourite detail so far, which isn't a detail, like it's just a cool thing that happens, is the reference to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because that's my like new favourite show at the moment.
There's a reference to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
It got slow for a little bit, but yeah, I'll explain it in a second. It got slow for a bit in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but now I'm like back on top of this. So you know the advert for the blue soap?
Oh, I've seen this, the Hydra soap.
Hydra soap. And the blue Hydra soap is in the framework in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like an alternate kind of AOR world they go into. And Phil Coulson says they use blue soap to brainwash people. So he makes his own soap.
Yeah, he was a weird conspiracy theorist or something when he was thinking that people were putting brainwash. Yeah, I saw that thing on TikTok again. It's fucking usual. But I do like those little ads as well, where it's like the the little lads, like the Stark Industries toaster and the Strucker watch.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the Hydra soap episode, I thought it was going to be an Asgard reference, because at first I saw like this woman was in a spa, and then I saw like people in like angel costumes and all like fanning her down. I was like, oh, it's going to be like an ad for like Asgard spa or something. But no, it was Hydra soap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's like, I thought they could be in a version of like the framework from Agents of Shield, but no, it's not. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's definitely my current theory. Well, it's not really a theory. It's pretty obvious after watching episode 4. Wanda has just lost the plot. She's completely in like full grief, and she's just taken over this small little town and taken the control of a bunch of people and made them into this her ideal life.
Oh, okay. And she put up this fortress wall.
Yeah, she
herself?
put up the wall so that nobody can get in or out, really. Well, people can get in and out, but if they get in or out, they're heavily affected. But they can't leave. Like, she's got them under control.
But your man from Ant-Man, whenever he comes in, he speaks to her through the radio. Like, she's surprised to hear him. So I think either your thing works and she's surprised that they were able to reach her, or like she's now realizing even more that she's kind of in this fake world.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like but then you see in like things like whenever the beekeeper dude came in and she just goes nope and rewinds, like, and when Vision starts to figure it out in episode 3, it's her realizing it, and then she cuts back. Like, Vision looks directly into camera there as well in episode 3. In episode 3, whenever he sits down and he's like talking to Wanda about how he doesn't think the world is real, he looks directly into camera for like 2 seconds, and I was like, oh fuck, that's kind of weird.
Okay, but like they never really say that she's the one who's making all the cuts. Like in episode 4, they say, oh, Wanda's making all these cuts, but
Shut off Siri.
Okay, but no one really knows, like, for sure if she's the one that's actually making all these cuts.
No, I definitely think it's her making the cuts, because like you see her, like Vision sits down in front of her, he's like, oh, yada yada yada, I don't think this world is real. You see Wanda look kind of concerned, and then suddenly it just cuts back. And even in that episode where the beekeeper shows up, she literally goes no and then rewinds. So I think it's her making the cuts, and also making the cuts to the people in the real world so they can't see the sinister shit she's doing.
But like, yeah, because with her, with the friend, like, whenever the friend's like, oh, she asks something, I can't remember now again. Doesn't she question how, like, her and Vision had this child?
No, she's the only one who doesn't question it. Vision questions it. Vision questions it the whole episode. He's like, how the hell are you having this baby so fast? How? And she's just like, she just keeps shrugging him off, like, I don't know, like, what, like, come on. Like, she knew. And as well, there's certain little things about it that you can tell she's controlling it. When anytime Vision gets close to figuring out what's going on, she gets rid of someone. So, you know, when the doctor came and was like, she's having the baby really quickly, and then suddenly the doctor goes, oh, I've got to go, I'm going on holidays. So then the doctor goes to go on holidays, and Wanda was just going to get rid of him, and then the second they actually need the doctor again, suddenly the doctor's car has broken down and he can't go on holidays anymore.
Oh, okay. Because that happens in the first episode as well, where Vision's like, oh, we can go anywhere we want, you know, where do you want to go? Let's go on holidays, honeymoon. And she's like, no, we're staying here forever.
She keeps, and even, at the end of episode 4, you see a clip where what Vision's like, do you want to stay here? We don't have to be here. We can leave, we can go wherever we want. And she's like, no, this is our home. Like, I do think it's her with her grief. But there definitely is some, like, other force in the background, like, person taking advantage of it. I do think, it's mostly Wanda fucking up shit. Yeah.
I don't know, because, like, there's the whole point in, like, the trailers. Did you watch the trailers for the show? Yeah?
I've watched like a good handful. I'm watching just promos here and there and stuff like that.
Okay. Did you watch, like, the first, like, trailer for the whole series? And there's a whole point where like they go out and like fight a load of bad guys together. They're like, oh, let's. Like,
I think that could be I don't know. I think that could be at the end.
Because then at that point, yeah, it could be a thing where she's like, oh, finally over Vision's death, and she's like, okay, time to like snap back to reality. Or it could be a thing where, you know, she is being controlled in this world and she's trying to break
maybe
out.
But yeah, maybe. Or that could be the episode where it catches up to the modern day and they just do an MCU movie as one of the episodes and make it seem like it's just a Vision and Wanda movie. That could be a possibility too. But
Maybe.
There's definitely going to be a Modern Family episode. There's been a few promos showing bits where it definitely looks like it's meant to be like a Modern Family office style thing. One interesting detail me and Alice figured out is you know, at the start of episode 2, you know, the way they're sleeping in separate beds and then they join the beds together and make it into one bed. That's because in the 50s, husband and wife didn't sleep in the same bed. They used to sleep like that, but then in the 60s, it was more normal for couples to sleep together in a double bed. So that little bit at the start of that episode where the beds come together and join, that was meant to signify the jump from the show being in the 50s to being in the 60s.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
so in that episode, technically, there's 2 jumps because at the start of that episode, it goes from 50s to 60s. And at the end of that episode, it goes into colour, going from 60s to 70s. So that's epic.
Yeah. That is
it's very cute. What other interesting... Actually, I really love that Jimmy Woo figured out his card trick. That was I had a good chuckle to that. And I had to then, like, me and Alice watched all the Marvel movies, but we skipped Ant-Man and the Wasp because I could tell she was getting sick of them, so I didn't want to throw her in another filler one before Endgame. So I just said, I had, like, after the joke happened and I laughed, Alice was like, why are you laughing so hard? It wasn't that funny. And I was like, oh. And then I had to explain the full, like, running gag for all of Ant-Man and the Wasp of how he couldn't figure out how to do the card trick. But that was a great little detail.
Yeah, no, like I like those kind of things where it really does feel like grounded in the MCU. Like, to bring it back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again, like they mentioned Thanos once briefly. They're like, oh, Thanos is coming to Earth, and then that's it. Like, they do a 1-year time jump between seasons 5 and 6, and like there's no mention. Everyone seems to be fine and just like,
that's odd,
living their best life.
Yeah, no, I do like how there's excuse me, I do like how there's a bunch of the returning MCU characters. Like, we see obviously Jimmy Woo back, we see Monica Rambeau obviously is the older version, and then we see see your one from the first 2 Thor films. What's her name? Darcy. Yeah, Darcy, and she's a doctor now herself. Yeah, in those movies she was only like an intern or whatever.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, no, that's cool. I like her. She gets like, I like how she gets really invested in it. And there's the point where they're having the babies or something. She's like, oh, and then to me, we was like, what's going on? She's like, it's okay. It's a great show.
Me and Alice have a theory that that's a couple. That's going to be a couple. Darcy and Jimmy Woo.
But is he not like a lot? He seems a lot older than her.
I think there was only like I looked it up the other day. Let me look up. So Kat Dennings is the actress who plays Darcy.
No, like, I don't mind in real life, but like, you know, they always change ages for TV shows.
Yeah, but like, say she's like, so she's Kat Dennings is 34. Okay. Randall Park is the name of that guy, and he's 46. So you could round them both and say that he's probably like in his late 30s, and she's also in her early 30s. Like, you could put her the same age she is now. It's not that big of a difference, really.
Yeah, no, it just feels a little bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could work.
Yeah, no,
because they have good chemistry. They're both comedic. They're both more funny actors. I feel like they have good chemistry.
Yeah. What do you think of this real, like you said earlier, kind of only like no action, just full on like kind of comedy version of a Marvel.
Very happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the only people I've seen give out about like WandaVision are people on TikTok who you can tell, well, actually, I don't know what I'm about to say, because like Fast and Furious movies are some of my favourite movies. Actually, no, you know what? People who don't like WandaVision are the type of people that like Transformers is their favourite movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're just there to watch the Marvel movies, and if there's not an action... So the type of people who hated Doctor Strange because there was no action scene at the end. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's a good show. Like, episode 1, it's a very good throwback to the 50s. There actually are some funny jokes. I did laugh out loud a number of times, and then it does get sinister at moments, which are very funny. Same in episode 2, same again in episode 3. It's very good at representing the time, and then there's good what's it called, there's good it's good at representing the time. There's good jokes, but then there's also this really good underlying atmosphere of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I agree with that. I concur.
Mm-hmm. I feel like episode 4 could have been put in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like episode 4 could have been originally episode 7, say.
Oh, okay.
I feel like their original plan would have been do 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and then whatever after that. But I feel like they did some test screenings very early on when they were making the show, and they realised that if they don't stick something in the middle, people will get a little bit too impatient.
But I suppose that it's good to get that recap from, like,
yeah,
you know, it shows little bits that you might have, like, you know, forgot that.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon a few of the clips that Jimmy Woo and Darcy watch together, like, they'll have some form of, like, significance later on, like, just to remember it.
But I feel like I would have rather see that episode closer to the end, because I feel like it would have I would have rather than another, like, 2 or 3 weeks of speculation of people being like, what is happening?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then seeing those characters show up. Like, maybe another post-credit scene of Jimmy Woo or something showing up here and there just to give a bit of background to what's going on. But then up until, like, episode 6, 7 or 8, actually tell us what's happening.
But, like, at the same time...
We still don't exactly know what's happening, but we know what's going on outside the bubble.
I would have then just rewrote that whole episode, because... Like, imagine if that is episode 7 and they just moved it. Like, people would be like, oh, why are they only watching, like, the first, 4 episodes, or first 3 episodes? And the whole thing of him talking through the radio, and then that being you seeing him talk through the radio, like, himself in person in the next episode. Maybe. Like, if that's later on, you're like, okay, what's the point of seeing this now? Like, this was ages ago. Yeah,
that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah, that's actually fair, because then, the episode wouldn't fit at all. Yeah, that does make sense now that I think of it. Thank you for telling me to shut up. A few more interesting bits. I kind of have my little theory originally was that anything that Wanda, that isn't supposed to be in Wanda's world, or something she hasn't thought of herself, is in colour. So, like, the drone becoming the helicopter, the reason that was in colour is because she didn't create that. Or the blood on Dottie's hand is coloured because it's not supposed to be there, because in Wanda's perfect world there is no violence, there is no blood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then
I've seen that kind of thing.
Yeah, but then that doesn't add up, because that doesn't really add up in the end, I figured out, because the beekeeper guy stays black and white, and then like Monica is still in black and white whenever she shows up too.
Yeah.
So they should be coloured if that theory was correct, but yeah.
Or no, actually I don't know. I was going to say something else, like, oh, maybe if it's in for like a short time it will be in colour and then slowly change to black and white. That would make sense. Yeah.
There was also a recent leak of a clip from an episode.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, like I'm happy with spoilers.
Okay, yeah, me too, good. It's Evan Peters, the guy who played Quicksilver in... But he doesn't seem to be playing Quicksilver, but he does seem to have silver hair.
Oh, he's a bad guy. I did do a little bit of googling into this. His name's like Mon something or other.
Who, Evan Peters?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know what character he's meant to play, but he does say I think he is going to be some sort of villain, because he does say the very sinister line to Wanda in the clip. He goes, "How can surely your dead husband can't die a second time?"
Oh yeah.
So, no, and then Wanda seems to flip out and shoot him across the place or something. So he is some sort of villain. I would have loved if he played Quicksilver in the show. That would be fucking incredible.
Yeah. No, that would be epic. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this here. But yeah, I remember from my like quick look into it that they did say he's going to be a bad guy.
Okay.
While I find this, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Do you think WandaVision will end up being like turning like evil and being like a bad guy partly in Doctor Strange?
Do you mean Wanda? You mean not WandaVision? WandaVision isn't her name.
Oh yeah, sorry. Just Wanda.
Yeah. I do feel like up until this point, Wanda hasn't been called a Scarlet Witch, and I feel like, and they've said that the WandaVision show and the Doctor Strange movie will eventually grow Wanda into being the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, okay.
So like that kind of imply, like I know that obviously as a hero in the comics, Scarlet Witch isn't a bad guy, but the name Witch in general is associated with being bad. Yeah. So I feel like by the end of the show, I feel like she could be some sort of villain in Doctor Strange 2, which would be fucking sick.
She could do like a thing that it happens in that most recent X-Men film. What's it called? Dark Phoenix or Phoenix?
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
Where Jean Grey becomes a bad guy. They could do something like that. Or
that could be a possibility.
Mephisto is your man's name.
Oh, Mephisto. Oh, that's something. That he's meant to be like a lot of people are theorizing that Mephisto is going to be the big bad of the show.
And that's who he's going to be playing. It's reported. Mephisto.
Yeah. All right. So, what other Marvel characters do you think are going to show up in this show?
I don't think there'll be any like superheroes. I think we'll see like reoccurring scientists or like Maria Hill, those kind of people. Yeah, I would. People are saying, actually, one thing about this, technically in the timeline, this show was set before Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh, okay. Because in episode 4, much time passes?
In episode 4, whenever Monica goes back to work, her boss says, "Oh, thanks for coming back into work 3 weeks after the blip," and 3 weeks after she reformed after the end of Endgame, she came into work. But at the start of Far From Home, Betty Brant on the whenever they do their little school news thing, she says it's been I think like 7 or 8 months since Endgame.
Oh, okay.
So
I was about to ask the time difference.
Yeah, it's said a good bit beforehand, so at least we know the world's not going to end in this one.
Yeah. Who would you like to see?
I would love to see Doctor Strange show up, even for like a minute.
I reckon he probably will. Maybe in like a post-credit scene at the very last episode.
But I feel like it could be funny if I would love an exchange between Jimmy Woo and Doctor Strange, where it's literally like Jimmy Woo as the head of the FBI guy calls another person to come in and help. Like, he sees all this shit he's seen in episode 4, so he goes, right, I need to call, I think this is magic, I'm gonna call the number 1 magic guy. And then Doctor Strange shows up and just goes, I don't know what's fucking happening, this isn't magic, and then dips.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
And I'd like to see Nick Fury show up.
I was going to mention that
because
Nick Fury, but I don't think so, because he's often in space with.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet.
What do you mean? But we don't know how long he's been there for. Either.
Yeah, exactly. So he could still be on Earth right now, because I saw another thing where it's like, this is Sword, and right now Sword hasn't gone into space, because in the comics Sword is a space thing. But then a lot of people were thinking, at the end of Far From Home, is that Nick Fury up in space with Sword? Yeah. But, I feel like Nick Fury, I feel like, I don't know, a Nick Fury could be a possible appearance. I feel like a funnier appearance would be Nick Fury showing up, but it's actually Talos.
Yeah, and not having a clue what's happening at all.
Yeah, him show up and be like, what? And then just like have him like go back to like on the phone to Nick Fury and just be like to Talos. Or that would be an interesting like funny thing they could do. You know the way like they go, oh, we need to call like the main person, so they call the FBI is like, we need to call somebody, so they call Sword.
Right.
The reason why they didn't call Shield is maybe because they did call Shield, and then Talos is like calls Nick Fury. Then he's like, what do I do? And Nick Fury's like, I don't know, give it to Sword. And then just Sword ends up having to go deal with it.
Yeah.
I do feel like Talos is a very funny character. Ben Meldon, I can't say his name. Fuck. Ben.
What is it?
Fuck.
Mendelsohn?
Mendelson. Ben Mendelsohn. There we go. Ben Mendelsohn is a very funny actor, and he's good.
Yeah.
He's the guy who plays
No,
Talos.
I do like him. And technically, as it stands, Nick Fury isn't actually the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. If like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has some correlation,
Shield.
but like you know, it has to fit
yeah.
in somewhere. So he's not really the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, but it doesn't though, because I'm pretty sure they've said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably not.
Because like
I said, like it's got no.
Like someone like Joss Whedon came out like before Age of Ultron and was like, they asked him a question in an interview like, oh, do the Avengers know Coulson is alive? And he just goes, no.
Yeah.
So either they don't know he's alive and all that shit's going on in the background, or it just doesn't exist in this world. And I'm leaning towards it doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Like I said with the whole Thanos thing earlier.
Yeah. I feel Ultron is going to show up somehow.
How come?
Because they've mentioned him, and also James Spader is in the cast listed as Ultron.
Okay.
But I feel like it could just be another like scary moment where you just see Ultron like show up all of a sudden, or like it could be a vision like nightmare thing.
Yeah. What did you say your man's name is? You just said it a second ago.
James Spader.
Yeah, I reckon he could come back and like just play him as a human being.
Yeah, with Ultron's voice.
Like he could be a human being in it, and with Ultron's voice.
That could be interesting. Yeah. Who else was I gonna say could show up? Thanos could show up. But again,
Thanos is dead at this point.
But again, not Thanos. Just like, well, yeah, Vision is also dead at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I reckon we could see it. Not even like, I reckon we could see Wanda have a nightmare of Vision getting his stone pulled out again.
Instead of just seeing him without the stone.
Yeah. And who else?
They could just like replay that clip from.
Yeah,
they
could do that too. And one last person, this person I think is definitely going to turn up. Pietro, original Quicksilver. I definitely think he's going to show up at some point.
Yeah.
In some form or another, I think he'll show up. Maybe, as you said, he could show up as Ultron. Him and Ultron just in regular person clothes. Just show up in the world.
They're having like a little scrap at the back.
Yeah, just call them Pietro and Ultron. That's one funny thing in the show as well. Vision just gets called Vision by everybody and no one questions it. Okay, so Aaron, final thoughts on WandaVision. What do we think?
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
I'm gonna give it a double thumbs up. You know, there we go. Overall for one
and a half.
Ooh, so overall it gets 1, 2, 3, 3.5 thumbs up for WandaVision out of 4 thumbs up, really.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. You get 75%.
75%. WandaVision is a good show. I enjoy it. I can't wait to see what they go with further, and it's got me excited for the future Marvel stuff. Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki, I now know they can do good and big things.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for those too.
Yeah, those are going to be great. But WandaVision has so far got me intrigued, even though it's still a terrible title for a TV show. Follow the podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Just look up ComhraCast. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Kako_Milish X, no fada. Twitter, CCA Milish1. My YouTube, Kako Milish. Aaron, plug yourself. Go.
I'm on only Instagram at Darek.png.
He's on only Instagram. He's the only person on Instagram. He's the only one.
I'm the only one.
He killed all of the other ones.
I am a hacker and I have deleted everyone.
No, he's not. He didn't delete them. He killed them all. They're all dead. He killed everyone on Instagram. If you still have Instagram and you're alive, fuck, not for long.
Okay, so we'll see you next week for, I don't know, something we haven't worked out yet.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about something. Anyways, peace out, guys.
Woo.
Bye.